Lastly, we will learn the development of azygous venous system. A pair of azygous venous line develop medial to the sympathetic trunk. Cranially or on the cephalic side, this azygous venous line communicates with the posterior cardinal vein. Caudally, right azygous venous line communicates with the right subcardinal vein, thereby ending into the inferior vena cava, and caudal portion of left azygous venous line communicate with the left subcardinal vein, thereby ending into the left renal vein. Two post-aortic communication develops between two azygous venous line, the cranial and caudal communication. Now the azygous vein is developed from the vertical part of right azygous venous line as well as persistent cranial part of the right posterior cardinal vein. The hemiazygous vein develops from the lower portion of the left azygous venous line and caudal post-aortic anastomosis, whereas accessory hemiazygous vein develops from the upper portion of left azygous venous line and cranial post-aortic anastomosis. The portion of left azygous venous line between the two anastomosis regress. The second and third left intercostal veins retain their connection with the left posterior cardinal vein. That's why they drain into the left superior intercostal vein. Having learned the development of the blood vessels, now we can learn the fetal circulation. So the source of oxygenated blood in the fetus is the placenta. The oxygenated blood from the placenta enters to fetus via umbilical vein. This umbilical vein opens into the left branch of the portal vein. Majority of the oxygenated blood from here passes to inferior vena cava via ductus venosus, whereas only small amount of oxygenated blood will go through the substance of liver and then enters the inferior vena cava. From the inferior vena cava, this oxygenated blood enters into the right atrium. Right? So via valve of inferior vena cava, this blood is guided toward the foramen ovale. By the lower margin of septum secundum, this blood flow is divided into two streams. Majority of the blood goes into the left atrium, whereas only small amount of the blood goes into the right atrium, where this oxygenated blood mixes with the deoxygenated blood coming from the superior vena cava. So deoxygenated blood from the right atrium now goes into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, via pulmonary trunk, it goes to the ductus arteriosus and ultimately into the aorta. Whereas oxygenated blood from the left atrium mixes with very little amount of deoxygenated blood coming from the lung. Then this blood goes into the left ventricle and then into the ascending aorta via arch of aorta and its branches. This oxygenated blood is distributed to the upper limb as well as head and neck, whereas as this blood goes past to the opening of ductus arteriosus, it gets mixed with the deoxygenated blood which came through the ductus arteriosus. So the lower part of body receives comparatively less oxygenated blood. This blood via branches of the aorta enters into the umbilical arteries and return to the placenta. Now, with the birth of the baby, the lung starts functioning and the function of oxygenation is taken over by the lung. So there are certain changes that takes place at the time of birth in the circulation. The first change, at the time of birth, the umbilical arteries get obliterated immediately so that there is very little loss of blood into the placenta. Sometimes after birth, umbilical vein and ductus venosus also gets obliterated so that in this some time the blood from the placenta can enter into the fetus. Third thing, ductus arteriosus gets obliterated so that deoxygenated blood now enters via pulmonary arteries into the lung where they get oxygenated. Fourth thing, there is increase in the size of the pulmonary vessels due to expansion of the lung. So more amount of the oxygenated blood now return into the left atrium. Fifth thing, as more amount of the blood returns into the left atrium, the pressure inside the left atrium increases, which leads to the closure of this foramen ovale. So now purely oxygenated blood passes into the left ventricle and via aorta it gets distributed into the body.